Welcome to an incomplete guide to personal growth. We invite you to take a breath and take a listen to our podcast that explores the wonder, humor, challenges, and sometimes those self-inflicted wounds on a journey of personal growth.
Our weekly podcast conversations include stories, resources, and tools that you can incorporate into your daily life. We're the mother-daughter duo of Sydney
and Kelly.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Sid. Hey. Got a little different setup?
We do, because we have an interview today, so our looks a little different.
It's going to be fantastic.
Yes, it'll be good. And, we were talking about the other day,
that marshmallow. Yeah,
delayed gratification. You're at the table. And honestly, sorry, comparing you to a 3-year-old.
Yes.
And the marshmallow experiment, that is pretty common in psychology, like they'll talk about it, where you put a marshmallow in front of a 5-year-old usually.
Right.
In a room, and then you say, if you wait, you'll get, you'll get, I'll get you more or something. And some kids will eat the marshmallow right away, look at it and they'll leave them for 5 minutes, a while. They'll look at it, and then some kids will choose to eat it, and the other kids, they'll come back and here's the other marshmallow, and then they'll do the experiment again. You very much, I think, would be the one to eat it right away.
Right away. And you and Dad would
and I would literally wait, and I would have a giant pile of marshmallows.
You would have a pile of marshmallows. I would. And Dad would too.
Yes.
And I would not have
And you
any.
would not have, you would have the one that's it.
I'd have one, and then I'd be pitching a fit that they didn't give me more.
Exactly. And honestly, I think they've shown that even this experiment doesn't actually have any bearing on how people behave when they're adults, but they wanted to see, the correlation. But
yes, I could wait for 2 marshmallows now.
That's good. I'm glad you've improved.
Got a little bit more.
But we discussed this banter because we're having we're doing an interview with Marci Grossman about money. And I feel like a lot of money sometimes is saving in this delayed gratification.
Yes, and not just spending.
You can feel from making good choices that are good for you with your money.
With your money.
Yes.
Yes.
But yes, we'll be getting into this interview.
With
Hopefully you guys enjoy. All right. Today, we have a special guest, Mom.
We do. Marci Grossman. And she is here to money talk with us, which is...
It's been a topic I've been discussing with you for a while that I really want
that you've wanted to bring in.
Yes.
And all I know is money has always been a touchy subject for me. Yeah. It's one of the most difficult. And I think for most people... And then when you get in a relationship, it even multiplies.
So good.
So,
but I would love for Marci to kind of introduce herself, give us background. Yeah.
I'm going to do it in interpretive dance.
Perfect. That's great for a podcast platform.
I don't know. You guys do a video podcast, so it could work just fine.
That's true.
So I am Marci Grossman. I am a second-generation CPA, certified public accountant, and I have been certifiable. I have been certified for more than 30 years, and in that time I have worked in public and private and nonprofit accounting with a wide range of financial exposure to business and partnerships and corporations, individuals, all of that, the tax returns, and of course the individuals that are involved in those businesses. So it gives me a wide and deep perspective on people and their relationships with money. And a few years ago, I pivoted to be more of a financial literacy educator. I am, I guess you'd call me semi-retired, though I think I'm busier than I ever was before.
Oh, really? Wow.
And that's who I am.
Okay. Nice. So you're not a coach, but you're a financial
I'm a
unicorn.
I'm a unicorn. I am not a coach. I am not looking to, I'm not using this as a way to get accounting clients. I'm not using this as a way to get coaching or mentoring clients. I hope no one's allergic to cats.
Love it. That is so
Oh my
typical
gosh.
cat, isn't it?
We have several episodes where our cat makes an
It
appearance.
makes an appearance, right? So
Yeah.
that's okay.
There
Allergic
you go.
to
You can
cats.
get the window.
I love
Oh,
it.
that's fun.
So what I'm doing is I'm working as a speaker. I have my podcast. I've
Yeah.
written a book. I'm working on the next book to really help people get a better understanding of those. I don't know if I want to say basic, but I would say common financial topics that we all deal with
Mm.
on a regular basis. We're
Yeah.
making these decisions and to help them be
Mhm.
more educated.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Good. So it's a passion you have too.
It is
Yes.
it is my
Yeah.
passion, and I've reached the age and stage where I can engage my passion to some extent, and
Uh-huh.
I'm very excited
Yeah.
about where this journey has been taking me.
Yeah.
That's
That's cool.
perfect. Love that. Love that.
So, the topics that you like to talk about and like what you see as common, did you come up with them through like your past experience with clients? Did you come up with them just talking to people? Like how do you get your common topics and what are a few of them that people like to know about?
So I started in, I think it was 2019, and I made
Mhm.
some videos for my sons and their friends. My sons are young adults; they're now 27 and 29, teaching them how to
Mhm.
do certain things. So I
Yeah.
explained budgeting. I kind of talked about what are the numbers on a W-2, a little bit about
Yeah.
tax returns, things like that that we're all dealing with. So common is really,
Yeah.
oh, look, I'm touching that today and I touched
Mhm.
it a few days ago. That's pretty
Yeah,
common.
yeah. Yeah. Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah.
So your son just came to you on their own and
Oh,
were
no,
like,
no. I
"Hey,
came to them and said, you guys need to learn this stuff.
that's so good."
Because
Yeah.
Perfect.
they were early 20s at the time. They weren't really touching those things yet. At 23,
Right.
Mm.
your budgeting isn't the same kind of thing it is at 33.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, it
Right.
does. It changes.
It changes,
Mhm.
which is important too
Yes. Yeah.
to notice.
Ugh. So what are like maybe some like first steps that you suggest? Like what are kind of things people should start to look at when they look at their money or
Budget, which seems to be a dirty word.
it does.
Budget is apparently related to diet. Um,
Yes.
people feel they are restrictive, and they're worried that a
Yeah.
budget means you're going to just be saying no to yourself.
Yeah.
And that's not what a
Oh.
budget means. A budget is a map, and
Mm.
it's a choose your own adventure kind of thing because
Mhm.
you get to you get the information, and you
Yeah.
create this map, and then you get to choose where you want to go with it. If you
Mm.
know, hey, I don't have any extra money at the end of the month, you get to say, okay, I need to figure out how to earn more money, or I need to figure out how
Yeah.
to cut my expenses, but you get to choose. Now you've got information and knowledge
Mm. To
Yeah.
make,
to
yeah,
be
to
able to
make
make
choice.
those decisions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ugh.
Oh, I like that. It's funny because it does budgeting and dieting,
Yes.
and it gives that same
Reaction.
effect. I
Mhm.
wonder if we could call it something other than a budget.
Oh.
I don't know.
Well, I like to segue budgets into forecasts. So think of a
Oh.
budget
Okay.
as what happened. If you were
Mhm.
starting with a budget, you might say, this is how I spent my money in the last year, or this is how I think I spent my money, or this is how I plan to spend my money for the next year. And then that's your budget.
Yeah.
You have a
Yeah.
forecast, and then you can kind of adjust as things go on. Okay, this is how I really spent my money for this month. This gives me ways to continue to adapt.
Yeah.
This worked, this didn't work.
Yes.
Yeah. I like
Ah,
that's a better way to look at it.
yeah. It's funny. I was talking to somebody the other day about budget because I was
Mhm.
talking about this upcoming episode. And this person said, I'm afraid to look. I said, if you look, your bank
Mhm.
statement gives you a little pie sometimes, or that tells you where she said, yeah, I'm afraid to look because I'll feel shame.
Mm. Yeah.
That feeling of, and I
Yeah.
thought that was an interesting. I thought that's pretty true to,
Mhm.
for some people, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it is, but I mean, you can say that about going to your doctor. I haven't gone to my doctor in forever. I have a friend who recently went to the doctor, and he's been so busy with his life and other things, he hadn't gone in 4 years. So his cleaning
Yeah.
is going to take a couple of days just to get all the gunk off and get
Burning off the
everything,
tube.
whatever else. I- okay,
Yeah.
I can't tell someone whether they should feel shame or not. I don't think they should feel shame. I think they should feel
I
proud
don't
that
think
now
so.
they're making those first steps and now they're trying to take control. So yesterday's yesterday. It happened.
Mm-hmm.
This is my starting point, and that's
Yeah.
now where do I go from
Yeah.
here to go where I want to go?
Right. Yeah,
Definitely.
that's a good way to twist it and
Yeah.
put, look at the perspective of
Yeah.
different. Oh, I'm here now and look, I'm going to be proud of myself for beginning this journey
Right.
Yeah.
even, right?
Yeah. Do you
I like that.
do you feel like growing up, I mean, he's a second generation CPA, so one of your parents, I'm guessing, was a CPA. Do you think growing up with that, like, have you always had a pretty, like, good, healthy view of money and, like, been able to kind of positively have it in your life and stuff?
I think so. On the flip side, I probably tended to look at it more uh more logically and maybe more frugally than some of the other people did because I was
Yeah.
aware what that tomorrow wasn't a guarantee financially.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember my dad coming home on a day that a number of clients had given him checks, had paid him,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, well, yeah, if I only had to work on these days, we'd be rich. And
Yeah.
then you might have a week or so where clients aren't sending you checks because he worked for himself. He was a sole practitioner. I guess nowadays we call
Uh-huh.
everybody entrepreneurs, but he was a
Yeah.
Yeah.
sole
Mm.
practitioner. And so it wasn't like he was getting his paycheck every week based on hours or tasks. He was getting paid when his clients sent bills, sent their
Mm-hmm.
payments. And if he wrote all of his bills on the 30th of the month or the first of the month from the prior month and then sent them out, there might be a week or so before they start sending those checks in. So it
Right.
gave me
Yeah.
kind of a different perspective than someone who's used to a paycheck. Because then
Yeah.
it's regular.
Right.
You're getting paid this many per hour and you work this
Mhm.
many hours, you know what to expect and you've got a more even flow.
Yeah.
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 Versus when it's not as steady.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Yeah.
Helps with budgeting. It makes, yeah, it would
Makes you
make
budget
you.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. I mean,
it
you
makes
wouldn't.
you look at things
Mhm.
differently.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So if somebody says, okay, hey, I want to, feel better about my money. I want to have some more control, feel the choices, all that sort of stuff. Um, what, what would you have them like look at first, or like in whenever you have your talks and stuff, like what are things that you like to talk about that people should start focusing on?
Well, I guess I should tell them they should start by reading my book or checking out my
Yeah.
podcast.
Yes.
Um,
And what's the name of your book? And we will
We'll
link
link it.
that too.
Okay.
But what's the name of your book?
Money Marcy's Guide to Financial Literacy. It's available on Amazon. It's available digitally at your library. I
Okay.
wanted to
Cool.
make it very accessible.
Yeah.
So
No, that's great.
it's out there. Um,
Yeah.
Money Marcy's. I like that.
Yeah.
if you go to my website, it's got links
Yeah.
to all of my stuff.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
Um,
and we'll
perfect. Yeah.
connect that
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
but
That's great.
the other night I gave a talk and they
Mhm.
asked me to talk about budgeting. So the whole
Mm.
talk was based on budgeting. I mean, we did kind of diverge a little bit as questions came up, but it was
Yeah.
really the concept of budgeting, how to budget, what you want to include in it. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other times it's based on what they want to learn, what
Mhm.
they want to talk about, but
Mm-hmm.
budgeting is the most common topic,
Yeah.
and it's
Okay.
Yeah.
really in my mind, the best starting point. If you want to start taking control of your money, let's start with
Mhm.
budgeting. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you need to
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
how you should be choosing health insurance from your employer or why you should
Mhm.
contribute to your 401k. But it really starts with having that knowledge of where you are and then what your goals
Mhm.
are and where you're trying to go. And I think financial decisions kind of build from budgeting and the knowledge there.
Yeah. That's
You
true.
mentioned, I like that you mentioned goals.
Mhm.
how important, and I think about that and setting a goal, like, okay, years ago, right? And I think the digital money stuff has changed some things, but years ago when I was first starting out, I wanted a VCR. I didn't want to put it on my credit card, right? And I saved for a couple months
to get a VCR.
and it was 125 or something like that dollars, 150. I don't remember what they were when they started out, maybe more than that, but I can remember that as a goal.
Right.
And even
Having that money, right? And I mean, that was well, to me, it was a big one, but it was small looking back. Quit laughing.
Sorry,
But and I think that's so important. What's my goal for my money in my life of what I want? They converge, right?
Right.
To be out of debt, to be out of, whatever that is.
So I guess I have to say I have this other book, which is a goals workbook, but I also have the sheets for that available on my website as a Google Doc. And what that is that kind of gives you an opportunity to say, okay, this is my goal. I want to buy a car in 5 years. This is what I'm going to do to achieve it. I want to buy a house in 10 years. This is what I'm going to do to achieve it. I want to go on a vacation this year. I want to throw a big holiday party this year, and this is what I think it's going to cost. And I think sometimes by writing things down or putting it in a Google Doc where you can come back and look at it and see where you're going is is a way to hold yourself accountable. Because now you can look at it, you can come back to it 6 months later and say, okay, I'm on track, or I'm not on track, or I'm not on track because these real life things happened that I couldn't control. So, again, it's not to feel shame. It's to have information and say, okay, well, I wanted to have this vacation. I'm going to have to tone it back a little bit about what I can spend or put it off a few months so that I can have, because the vacation I want, it's important that it be done a certain way. And this works, I'm 18 years old and I don't have a boyfriend yet, but I know I'm going to want a big wedding. And so I'm going to start putting, $5 a week or whatever into this. There's no amount that's too small if you're getting started. Because
I think that's important to hear.
Right.
Yeah, there isn't. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And I think that's one way that I think like your money and financial goals can like tie into, I mean, because we're a personal growth podcast. So it's like how your personal growth goes to this idea of, well, why would I want a vacation? Maybe it's so that I can, prevent burnout. And so it's like, let's make my money work for me and work for like, my own personal goals in my life. And it's like, why do I want a house? Is it to feel confident? Is it to have a place that's a home that feels home to me? And it's like, how do I tie my money into
because it's
getting
a part
that person? Because it's a part of your life.
Yeah.
You don't realize how many things in your life have a financial component, even if you don't think about it. Whether it involves, if I make this choice, I lose an opportunity to get money that I would have received by doing X, or it's a bigger opportunity because it's going to look great on my resume in the long term, even if right now it doesn't give me any money. A lot of things have an impact somewhere down the line. And that's not saying you should decide to do things just because of money. That shouldn't be your only decider.
Right.
But it's an awareness that all these things you don't realize impact money, and money impacts opportunity.
It does. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I can remember a time when you were talking about, you're saving for this vacation, you're saving for this, and then life happens. And I can remember, getting a flat tire.
The worst.
Needing a new tire to me is one of the yuckiest things, because it's just a tire. But I can remember going and just being upset about it and then going, oh, okay, so let's turn it and let's be thankful that you had money in the bank to pay for it.
Yeah.
Because you've been having a cushion fund and you don't have to pay a credit card and then pay it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't
It's
it nice?
a funny goal, but it's nice to have.
It's an amazing goal to have, that when an emergency happens, you can say, bummer, this is going to take X amount of time to take the car in for the tire, or to wait for the guy to come with the water heater. But oh boy, it's only money because I have it. So having that
Yes.
emergency fund, so you don't have to say, oh no, I have to put this on the credit card and pay interest on it for the next year to pay it off. Um,
Yes.
it's
Yep.
it's
Definitely.
when you know that you're doing things the right way, when you've been able to get to that point where these things don't send you into a tailspin and a bigger financial stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We
Oh,
are,
for
yeah.
sure. Oh man.
Financial gratification,
Yes.
waiting.
Yes. Oh, I know, and that's the hard thing too, is sometimes money doesn't, especially now, it's not really tangible. I mean,
Right.
I could probably count on one hand the number of days this last year where I've actually had cash in my pocket. Like cash.
Yes.
I just don't.
Yeah, remember you got some money a while back that
Oh,
somebody gave you some $100 bills and you're like,
yeah.
so what do
What?
I do with these?
Like, like I don't. My bank doesn't always have like a steady ATM, so it's not like you just go there and like put them. I don't go to the bank to put my money in, and so it's like, where can I go to break 100?
And
I guess restaurants can do.
that's a real question, because a lot of places don't want to take anything bigger than a 20, and some places don't want to take anything bigger than a 50, and now you've got hundreds because this person had hundreds and they didn't know what to do with it, so they're like, here, take these for payment of whatever. Hundreds are like
Yes,
these oh
they're
boy,
very
who's going to
iffy.
take it? Right, you have to go to the
Yes.
bank with them.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. It was a whole thing. I was like, what do I do? But money is it's just not very tangible anymore. So I think sometimes it's hard, like, to wrap your head around, like, what sacrifices you have to make. And it can be harder because you're like, I don't know. I just think
Well, you
you don't
just
have something tangible to plan with
and you use
necessarily.
a credit card. And remember when we had to write checks, you would see your balance
Right.
every time you wrote the check.
No. Yeah.
So you knew, but now it's, oh, let me check, how
Yeah.
often do you look and see? I don't know.
I
So I think
still
in some ways it can be
Oh, no, go
hard.
ahead.
Yeah. Oh, in some ways, I think it can be hard, like the goals for money and the goal. It's just hard, I think, to have these things be tangible enough.
Well, I still keep a
Yeah.
check register, and I don't write
Okay.
many checks, but in
Yeah.
there, I obviously you have your bank balance. You still have a bank account, and I
Mm-hmm.
write in when I use my credit card. When I
Mm-hmm.
get my credit card statement, I don't write each individual transaction in the
Yeah. Yeah.
book. So I write in
Right.
there when I pay my credit card. If I take a withdrawal of
Mm-hmm.
cash, I actually do use cash on a regular basis, because if I go
Really?
out to eat, I tip in cash. I
Mm-hmm.
try to
Gotcha.
always tip in cash. Servers prefer it because they get it
Yeah.
right
True.
then. And there's not, if you leave
Mm-hmm.
a $5 tip on your credit card, I'm
We'll get it
guessing
later.
they don't get $5. They get
Yeah.
$5 less whatever service fee, because why would the business pay the service
Lose.
fee
I
and
hadn't
have to pay
thought
that
about
expense
that.
for it? Right. And
It's true.
and I don't
I
know
gotta
how
change.
soon they get it.
Yeah.
I know some
Yeah. Yeah.
businesses don't do it until they reconcile their account at the end of the month. Now, I don't know if
True.
that's true of all businesses, most
But not.
businesses,
Yeah. Probably
whatever.
not
I had
everywhere.
not
But
thought about that,
yeah.
so
Right.
I may
Yeah.
have changed my ways.
Yeah.
Well, if you can, it becomes an inconvenience, because okay, we're going out, we don't know where we're going to end up. Let's grab some
Yeah.
cash, so that
Yeah.
and various bills, so that we are able to make tips
Do
for
that.
for the person in cash.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah.
Didn't think
That's a
about
good
that.
tip.
Mm-hmm.
Hot tip.
Oh,
Well done, well done. But then
that's good. Thank you.
you also mentioned about talking about money.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And it's hard to talk about money because, you don't want to necessarily tell your daughter how much in debt you are and what bad decision you made last week, and vice versa. You
Mhm.
don't want to tell your mom,
Yeah.
"Oh boy, wait till you hear the
Yeah.
stupid thing I did with money," because
Yeah.
we're human, and we all sometimes just
Yeah.
do something we're
Mhm.
not necessarily proud of. But you can find
Yeah.
ways to talk about money without necessarily going into the specifics of a decision. You can talk about
Yeah.
the generalities, how do you,
Mhm.
when whatever, or hey, did you hear about this article in the paper or this story in the news about this scam? Let's
Mhm.
talk about it. How did they scam them? Now that there's AI, if you got a call that sounded like Sydney Kelly, and she
Yeah.
said, "Hey, I have a flat tire and whatever else. I need you to
Yeah.
get me $50, $500 right now." It's
Yeah.
Sydney. It sounds like her. You're
Mhm.
gonna do whatever you
Yeah.
can, without saying, hey, wait a second, does this make sense?
Rethinking.
So do
Yeah.
you have a code word that you would know it's really Sydney? Or is there,
That's a good,
Yeah.
are you
good idea.
guys aware that, say, even if you call me if it's an emergency, I'm still going to call you back and I might ask you a few questions to confirm that it's really you.
That
So
it's you.
even if you say it's an emergency and you need it right now, we're going to take 5 minutes to
Yeah.
really confirm it. Um,
Yeah.
so having just those general conversations, and that this is where I guess I have to do another plug for myself. So I
Yeah.
had my son write this app for me. It's only available on Android phones, and it's
Okay.
called Let's Talk About Money, and
Mhm.
it's conversation starters. There are no
Oh,
right and
cool.
wrong answers. It's just things to talk about.
Right, right.
Oh, that's
Well,
good.
that's neat. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think it is a topic that is difficult, even with, I mean, speaking about it with a partner, speaking about it with,
Mhm.
it's people
Yeah.
that you should. And it's
Yeah.
very important to be on the same page. Like,
Yeah.
it can still be difficult. Yeah.
Mhm.
Of course, because when you
Yeah.
marry someone, you came from your background, they came from their background. You each have money baggage that you're not even conscious about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do
That's
things
very
because
true.
your mom did them a certain way, or you do things
Mhm.
because they're the opposite of the way your mom did it, and when she did it, it
Yeah.
made you crazy, or you're doing it that way because that's your perspective of understanding how she did it, but she really did it for a
Yeah.
totally different reason. And so,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and all these things are you're not conscious of why you're doing them, and your partner is bringing
Yeah.
his own or her own baggage
Mhm.
into the situation, and
Yeah.
you have to talk so you can at least say, I do it this way because of this. Well, I do it this way because of
Yeah.
this. Okay, well, let's find a way that works
Right.
for the us rather than
Together.
Both of it.
individually.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Definitely.
Oh, that's so
But
hard.
it'd be, I mean,
Yeah.
having the conversation starters, I think,
Oh,
would
that would be
definitely
interesting
help
to look.
because then you
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
get deeper into it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Yeah.
Man. Um, so yeah, before we wrap up, what are like some, so you had a few tips already, some great ones, that having cash
Yeah.
reserves, um the code word for calling, that's
Yes.
interesting.
I like
Are there
that a
any
lot.
other like things that you feel like don't get mentioned enough, or tips that you think would be good for people to start thinking about when it comes to their money?
I will say that most employees
Mm-hmm.
leave money on the table at their employer.
Mm.
Whether it's not making sure you take advantage of a 401k match, or
Yeah.
not being aware of benefits that are offered by the employer, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
discount tickets to an event or just small things like that that they're just not aware of because they're afraid to talk to HR or accounting or payroll or whoever offers these things, and the onboarding for those aren't always as comprehensive as they should be as to what's available.
Yeah.
Anytime you
Yeah.
leave money on the table, that's really coming out of your own pocket.
Mm.
Mm, that's a good thought. And
Yes.
you mentioned the 401k, and I also think that sometimes, if because everything's direct deposit these days, or
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I know you can put it and have it deposited in more than one space. You can
Mm.
divide that up. And if you never see it,
Yeah.
if you automatically put it into your savings,
And
then
it's
you
like,
don't miss it.
Right,
like that's what's so good.
it doesn't have to be just 401k money that you put away. You can have,
Right.
this is my emergency account. Some of them allow up to 90 bank accounts with your
Yeah.
deposit
Wow.
from it. So here's $5 that goes every paycheck into my
Goes
vacation
here.
account, and here's $5 into my
Mm.
holiday account, and here's $5 into um, whatever nonsense my kids are going to be involved in.
Right.
Whatever it is, you can have the accounts you need. Make sure you label them in a way that's meaningful for you, and
Yeah.
use them
Yeah.
as you need them.
Because
Um,
if you don't see it, you don't miss
mhm.
it, is what I've learned. It's
Right.
there and it
Yep.
adds up and you don't even realize what it's
Mm-hmm.
added up. And then you're like, oh, what a surprise. It's
Yeah,
like finding 20 bucks in your pocket,
that's
It's
true.
like,
Hopefully
oh,
more than
look.
20 bucks in these accounts. Yes.
Yes, right.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome.
so I like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Not
So
leaving stuff.
plug all of your stuff one more time
You've
for
got the
us.
books.
Yeah, I've got books. So if you go to my website, moneymarci.com. Just make sure you spell Marci right. So it's MONEYMARCI and .com. You go there, there's a link to Amazon, and there's a link to the app, and there's a link to my links and worksheets tab, it has real websites you can go to for real information. It goes to the IRS, some various sites there, and get your social security statement and all those things, as well as some Google Docs that I've created that people can, open, use for themselves, save to their own directories, and have access to that information. I think I said it's got a link to my podcast. So yeah, everything is there, and that's probably the best starting point.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
fantastic.
Hopefully.
This has been so informative.
Yeah, it'll be a great resource.
And it wasn't so uncomfortable talking about money with you.
You guys look like you were having a good time there. I only had my cat sticking its, tail all over the place.
I'm a cat person.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you so much, Marci, for being with us.
It was my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
You bet. That was so fun.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I got a lot of good insight, a lot of good tips.
Good tips.
And
for sure.
Yeah.
Getting more comfortable talking about money.
Yeah. So y'all make sure and check her website.
Sounds like
Money Marci.
Yes. Sounds like she has some good resources.
Yeah. And we'll have all that tagged onto our show notes.
And we'll be having some other talk about money too later this month.
We've got a candle making coming up.
Yes, we have some good stuff for our May.
Yeah. All right. So we look forward to next week when we take a breath and take a listen.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of An Incomplete Guide to Personal Growth. There are many ways you can stay connected. Follow us on Instagram at An Incomplete Guide Podcast, where you can sign up for our email list and get posts that delve deeper into our weekly topics. Make sure to subscribe to our podcast page wherever you listen to your podcasts. We would really appreciate a rating and sharing us with your family and friends.
We're so glad you chose to spend your time with us and hope there was a thought, a resource, or a laugh that you can take on your journey. We'll be here every Tuesday for you to take a breath and take a listen.